Hi, I'm professional sports handicapper Ross Benjamin. It's currently Friday night. That's January 3rd. I have two free selections in the NFL playoffs for Saturday, January 4th, starting with the game between Buffalo at Houston, 4:35 p.m. Eastern Time start. That game will be televised on both ESPN and ABC. I'm going to focus in on the total in this game, which is 43 and a half. Make this quite simple. Buffalo's offense is below average, while the Buffalo defense, on the other hand, is top notch. The Bills' defense, number three in total defense and number two in scoring. On the other side of the table, we have a Houston defense that's far from playoff caliber. As a matter of fact, over their last five games, the Texans have allowed 27 points and 434 yards per contest. This is also a Houston offense that's potentially explosive. They're loaded with offensively skilled position players that are highlight reel type of performers and quarterback Deshaun Watson and wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, just to name a couple. Also, a 1,000-yard runner in Carlos Hyde. I think the Buffalo defense will allow more than the 16 points per game they've been allowing all year to this explosive Houston offense. I also think the Buffalo offense will score more than the 20 points per game against this porous 20 points per game, that is, that they're averaging right now against this porous Houston defense. I think the line movement speaks volumes here. This total opened at 41 and a half. It's currently 43 and a half or 44, depending on where you look. And that's despite 56% of the bets being made on the under and 60% of the money wagered going to the under. Despite those lopsided margins favoring the under, this has gone from 41 and a half to, like I said, 43 and a half, 44. It's a classic case of reverse line movement. A lot of sharp money going to the total, or the over, excuse me, including mine. We're going to go with the lower number. We're going to go with the Buffalo and Houston game to go over the total of 43 and a half. Next game, Tennessee at New England. That game goes at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. Tennessee 3-0 straight up in ATS in their last three road games, including a clinching playoff spot win last week at Houston, in which they won that game 35-14. Since Ryan Tannehill has taken over at quarterback, Marcus Mariota started the first six games for the Titans, and Tennessee went 2-4 in those contests. Ryan Tannehill stepped in as a starter in Game 7. Since that time, the Tennessee team has been totally different, especially offensively, obviously, because of Tannehill, and they've gone 7-3 over their last 10 games. Tannehill enjoying a fine season in the 10 games that he started. He's thrown for 22 touchdowns against 6 interceptions. And boy, oh boy, Derrick Henry is on an absolute roll right now. Over his last six games, Henry, the star running back for Tennessee, is averaging 149.3 yards per game rushing and 10 touchdowns. This is also a Tennessee offense led by Tannehill, which has scored 28 points or more in six of their last seven games. New England, after a great start to the season, really was reeling down the stretch. 2-3 over their last five games. That included last Sunday's shocking loss to the Miami Dolphins as a 15.5 point home favorite in a game that New England needed to win in order to secure the number two seed in the AFC, which would have afforded them a bye week. Instead, they get upset by the lowly Dolphins, who finished 5-11, and now they're forced to play in this wild card playoff game. Momentum clearly sides with the Tennessee Titans here, and I'm going to take a shot with the Titans here, plus the 5 at New England on Saturday night. Repeating again, my two free, and free being the key words here, folks, free picks on Saturday in the NFL playoffs. the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans over 43.5, and the Tennessee Titans +5 at New England. Now, if you want my two paid selections, I have two selections. One being a 10-star top play. That's my highest rated selection. I have the winning side in the Buffalo Houston game, and I also have a 5-star golden total in the Tennessee New England game. And you can get those right now by going to my website at rbwins.com. That's rbwins.com, folks. 6-3 with my last 9 NFL 10-star top plays. That's over the last 8 weeks. Also, 3 top 10 finishes in the national landscape at sportscapping.com in the NFL playoffs. Since 2011, I should say, 3 top 10 finishes, and that's against the best handicappers in the country who are willing to put it all on the line like I am. Once again, that's rbwins.com, where you pay a little to make a lot. Until the next time, good luck with all your picks.